gods and goddesses, kings and queens. How you doing? This is Amun. This is part 2 of sex. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I can feel it. You're saying, when you gonna get into sex? No, it ain't about when we're gonna get into the physical realm. Nah, I told you in part 1, it's not about that. You have to reconstruct your mind in a metaphysics thinking. You have to. It's a metaphysics of sex. It's a formula. It's a spiritual power. You can't explain it to a degree. You can feel it in the physical realm because the energy level. You have to understand your energy, who you really are, goes through this feeling. That's why I use the scholar, the master teacher, in my opinion, Bobby Hemmett, and I'm using him of giving a better translation of it, and then I will break it down in a smaller form on another level. So we're gonna catapult over part 1 to 2, so we won't skip no beat. And I hope you got your pencils and papers. Just because of classy, listen. Just because I'm putting this information out, don't think that I'm not getting ready. You know what I mean? So, class, I'm Amun, and let's give all due respects to the Creator, and then we jump right into it. The sun rises. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Amun. Peace to the gods and the goddesses, the kings, the queens, the brothers and sisters. Listen here. For you to understand what I'm doing and understand some of the movements and things like that, you have to do research. I keep telling you that. You mean you want to live on this earth, but you think you're supposed to live the way they want you to live because they believe in their mind that this is how they supposed to live. And that's, quite frankly, that's how they supposed to live. But why are you following them when you're supposed to understand who you are and where your descendant come from? You understand? You getting that regulation? Understand who you are. A lot of your sexual behaviors, it stems off of them. You want to follow what they say. Now, don't get me wrong. We all are individuals, and we go through our own sexual feelings, mentally, psychologically, physically, spiritually. Me personally, now, I'm on a spiritual conception of sexuality because I don't need to have sex every day and get into all kinds of nonsense of trying to find the master way of sex and physical transformations and doing things to the body that's really unnatural. I mean, in my opinion, I find out, it took me years, I'm 50 years old now, but it took me almost the last, probably by the time I was 45, to be honest with you, that when you're in a spiritual sexual relationship, you will appreciate your mate better, for me, because you can make love to any woman, or a woman can make love to any man, and could be almost better than what you with your woman. Now, I believe it all depends on you, but it can happen. But before we get deep into that, let's get right into Brother Bobby Hemmett. Thank you very much once again. Great scholar, using his work. And he's going to give you a lot of information. It's broken down part 1, if anyone has seen it, he did a ritual. He spit in all 4 corners. That was to bring in the deities, to allow him to flow through his concepts and things like that, and understand what he's bringing the information out. So he understands. He's on a whole nother level. It's a whole nother level. That's why I'm saying that, as you did notice, every time I bring his work, I'm saying thank you very much. That's out of respect for this great scholar, this great doctor, Bobby Hemmett. So this is not my work. I'm just navigating off of his work, but he has more information and he knows more books to go to. So if I'm gonna bring it to you raw, I gotta be honest about it. So this is Bobby Hemmett. Catapult off for part 1. This is part 2, sex. But in his conception is the metaphysics of sex. Mine is about sex. But I want you to get your mind broken down and then rebuilt, and you get a better understanding. Let's get into Bobby Hemmett.
About something that you couldn't feel, something, well, let's put it, something that you couldn't touch. I want to put it that way because you damn sure feel it. But something you couldn't see, some invisible force. You see, that is the basis of spirituality. In that particular case, you don't need the deity that you worship as the litmus test of whether you are in something spiritual. When you see Christ, quote unquote, the picture of the Jesus Christ, and you see the heart chakra, and you see him holding this heart, the only thing there is the heart. The man or the person is just a figure or an image to give to you so that you can better understand it. But too often we get lost in the figure and the male image, other than what is this thing truly talking about? And how does it represent me if you are a woman and you got this male image? Well, he has the heart, and he's holding the heart. It is not that white Jesus Christ you see, definitely. It is the heart, which transcends the figure that you see, which is a later figure, because we can go back to ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt, where the basis of the judgment scene in Egypt is the weighing of the heart. So we're still talking about the heart chakra, the mysteries of Osiris, the mysteries of Dionysus, the mysteries of Bacchus, the mysteries of Phanes, the mysteries of Shiva. And we'll go into some of that particular aspects as we go on. But for the first time in history, 2,000 years ago, which no matter how great the Christians claim, Jesus is loved. Jesus comes as a debauchery because Jesus comes in the motif of the Roman government, devoid of the penis, the phallus. And that is the difference between the ancient Christ, Osiris, Osar, Bacchus, Phanes, Dionysus, Shiva. And these gods came with the phallus, the god Mem. And the debauchery is the phallus not being there, means that you cannot identify it with your own self, both male and female, because the male can say, well, hell, I got a vagina so I can identify with that penis. You see? But you can't identify with it in your own human experience, and yet love is where this particular, the human body and the human experiences is the origin of where this love is going to actually seed and grow and fester and manifest. You see what I'm saying? So you got the heart, but you don't have the penis. Now there's different levels, but we understand the heart being this divine aspect, and it can be separated from sex. But you cannot omit the phallus, the vagina, the vesicle, the lingam, and the yoni. So the best one kept intact would be the mysteries of Shiva. The mysteries of Shiva and Pravati, or Shiva and Shakti in India, because you get the lessons of the phallus, which is the lingam, and the vagina, which is the yoni. So there's several books. Ecstasy Through Tantra by Dr. John Mumford. Tantra, The Cult of the Feminine by Andre van Lijsbeth. Sexual Alchemy, Donald Tyson. Tantra, The Way of Action by Francis King. Putting this thing back to the human level, when Dr. Ben used to say that the latter gods, the Hebrew, Judeo, Christian, and Islamic gods, become unattached or detached from man, unapproachable. You see, unapproachable. So therefore, this mystical aspect of love is lost because it is not manifested on the physical on one particular aspect, and it's not connected to us. So this particular love that we give to Jesus Christ is unapproachable. Whereas this love is not talking about some man out in space, some spook god. It's talking about the heart chakra. And that's what we'll be dealing with also. So this particular person becomes without the phallus. It comes without the divine aspect of the male organ, since we're talking about this male Christ. But we can't separate this thing here, because we can't separate this from the female aspect, because we also know that the female aspect is also has a lot to do with the Virgin Mary, which is nothing but the ultimate Osset or Isis mysteries. The whole book, Isis in the Greco-Roman World. Here's a new book that will explain a lot of that. It's called Isis Magic, by this word, Isidora Forrest. Isidora Forrest. Cultivating the relationship of the goddess of 10,000 names. Ultimately, a lot of our female mistress of Sophia, the female mistress of Mary, the female mistress of the Holy Shekinah in the Kabbalistic mysteries, is coming from the Osset mysteries, which her temple, the temple of Philae, ironically was the last temple to close in Kemet. Wow. And after it closed, Europe went into a dark age. But before it closed, they took 100 years to translate from Metanetta into Coptic, Hebrew, Greek, Latin, Aramaic, Islam, as far as Arabic. They translated the metanoia into the existing languages of the latter days before that temple of Isis closed. So it's documented in groups of studies that came out in the early 1990s, symposium called the Alexandria Symposiums, where they came together and they brought out all this stuff that the Europeans was holding on to for years, more and more of these conferences and stuff that came out of the Library of Alexandria. And as a result, they came out with these particular books. And in one of those books, they go into how all of this stuff was translated into metanoia. And that's how we get a lot of the mysteries that we have now. So, despite what people think, the people didn't come in and steal anything. How can you steal something from a people and you don't know how to read their language? Right. That means that those people had to systematically and on purpose translate this stuff from metanoia. You see, so moving right along, we have a lot to cover. Okay, as we go on, let's deal with the heart chakra. The heart chakra is not only a chakra, but it is also a subtle organ in the body. Here's a book called Theosophia by Arthur Verse Lewis. This is what the Pope and all of them worship. This is the true meaning behind the papacy. If you look on the back of the book, you will see a little heart with an eye in the middle.
Let me get it. I got it.
See it?
Yeah.
The heart with the eye in the middle. You see? Now,
what's that significant of?
It's the heart chakra, but it's also the all-seeing eye.
Right.
So we're also talking about consciousness. Now, yesterday, I did a lecture yesterday, and in the lecture, I explained in this particular book, this is a book called Kundalini Evolution and Enlightenment, edited by John White. And I showed this particular diagram of how consciousness rises up from the base, from the genital area, the navel area, and the heart area. You don't even become conscious until you hit the heart chakra.
Wow.
You see. So it is, you can see why the eye, let me draw this out, shoot.
Yeah. That's deep, ain't it? I know, y'all. Class, you're gonna learn today. You're See, it ain't about what you think it is. I told you, you're not gonna be able, a lot of y'all ain't gonna be able to handle this, because you have to really pay attention to what the magnificent brother Bobby Hemming is talking about. Dealing with the organs, dealing with the body, dealing with the spiritual realm, dealing with the man's penis and the woman's vagina. I warned you though. I told you it ain't gonna be like what you think it is. You're gonna have to use your mind. And this is why I tell you, make sure you got your pencils and papers, the books you need to write down, so you could do your own research. Don't get it twisted. I gotta still do my research. It's because I'm giving a class lesson. Still gotta do my research. Understand that. So, understanding that the heart is your chakra. It's one of the chakras. Understand that, as you clearly say, from down into your private penis or your vagina, your consciousness comes up. It grows from the vagina to your navel, to your navel, to your heart. Your consciousness is amazing how we understand it. These things you think you need to learn, or everything here in America. Now, sometimes you got to go to other countries who master these conditionings of the body. You understand? And we have to get books from different authors and things like that. So even I gotta get books. I mean, I got books. Come on, it's on the way now. Meaning, I ordered them. Majority of the books I've gotten, I had to order my books. You just can't go to no Barnes and Nobles and find these books. It's not like that. You gotta order these books. I'm letting you know now. This is why I said I'm navigating through, after the Dr. Bobby Hemming, this great scholar. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bobby. They tell you to get these books, but I'm letting you know that you will have to order some of these books. I mean, if you get lucky, and sometimes you can find a street vendor or a street store that sells nothing but black books. But remember, some of these books is not just black. You might have to go to some Europeans now. So let's get back into Bobby Hemming and metaphysics of sex. It's not just all about humping and I had great sex. You don't know what sex is until you reach another level. You're talking about the physical realm of sex. I'm talking about the metaphysics of sex. I'm talking about dealing with the spiritual realm, the psychological, the mental, and last but least, the physical. And it's being broken down on a level that I know a majority of you probably have not. Understand. This is why I told you in the beginning, when I was doing small videos, that get ready, because sex class is not going to be what you think it is. Sex class is going to be totally different. I clearly mentioned this in so many of my videos. I think I put like 2 or 3 videos out. And I also posted, just to let you know, that I'm having a sex class, but can you handle it? And it's not going to be about showing penis and vagina and the woman's breast and the man's chest. It's not about that. It's on another level. And this is what I want to present to you. I'm just a messenger, and I'm presenting the information to you. You understand? Because I'm constantly, every day I'm getting this information, receiving this, studying this, things like that. Every day. Listen, what else you gonna be doing? All you're gonna do on the natural realm is repeat the same thing. By the time you get up in the morning, if your mind ain't thinking of something new and what to discover and what to receive, and allowing your ancestors to flow into your spiritual realm, and you will be able to connect with them and be able to have a communication with the ancestors, and they'll be able to, like an antenna, and be able to give you information. You yourself should be able to start to have a relationship with your ancestors and be able to connect with them on another level, which is the spiritual realm. Saying that to say this, it's the same conception dealing with sex. your deity, your spirit. When you have sex, your spirit is just using the body. I mean, your soul is just using your body to perform the act on this realm. On this realm here, which is the physical realm. So brothers and sisters, let's get back to Bobby Hemming. I know some of you probably go, this is boring. It's not boring. Because you want some action. You're getting action. You're getting a lot of action. You're getting a mental reconstructive discipline being stripped down, taking away your lower form of your mind and bringing you up to a higher form of your mind. This is what the class is all about. To strip off the old personality and put on a new personality and become a better creation. That's what this class is all about. And sex is one of the parts that is mythical, magical, spiritual, and we need to dive into it. And I want to share that information with you. So let's get into Bobby Hemming. Thank you, Bobby. So let's get right back into it.
You know, and draw it out at least. And it has the eye, I'll put the eye of Heru in it for the people. But here's some heart. This is the heart, as it says, it shows here, and there's an eye in the middle. You see. So this diagram here, this is where the consciousness flows. So in so many words, you don't even become conscious until it hits the heart chakra. That's why most people, consciousness is down here in the genital area, which is called the animal car. There's the animal car, that is the inferior car, and then there's the divine car, which starts from the heart chakra on up into the third eye, the pineal gland, and pituitary gland, the hypothalamus region of the brain. So this is called the inferior car. This is called the animal car. Then the inferior car that would reach from the middle of the genitals into the navel. And that's where most people are. And then what is called the divine car. The divine car is when you come into consciousness like a few people on the planet, but not the masses. The inferior car is where most people are, or the animal car. And animal car is ruled by nerves, hunger, lust, greed, and the raw urges. You see. And the inferior car is called automaton, or automation. So you can have highly educated people, they are automated by society. They're just running on what was taught to them in the context of their experiences down here, and what is provided for them based on what part of the civilization they are in. So whatever your civilization is, and whatever is provided for you in your particular civilization, in your customs, in your culture, and whatever, is where they are in automation or automaton. But on one particular hand, what this also means is they don't go beyond what is given to them based on their experiences, their culture, or their civilization, or their country. So they don't have the divine vision to see beyond their regular, routine, mundane function of life. You see what I'm saying? This is also explained in a book, The Opening of the Way. The Opening of the Way by Isha Schwaller de Lubitz. The Opening of the Way by Isha Schwaller de Lubitz. This is the older model from the early 90s. There's, as far as the cover, there's another cover on it, a blue cover with the Temple of Karnak on it, light blue cover, with columns from the Temple of Karnak. This is the older cover. but they go into this whole aspect of the divine car, the inferior car, and the animal car.
All right, y'all. Now, the metaphysics of sex, and just want to let y'all know that we'll begin to go to part 3, and I really hope that you are taking down lessons. I say it again, make sure you got your pencils and papers, because there's a lot of books that will open up your mind to understand the true meaning of dealing with sex. Excuse me. I really do hope you're doing this. This is why I put out information like that, so you can know what books to get. So I'll see you in part 3. Sex is a wonderful thing if you truly know its meaning. Physical, the mental, the psychological, the metaphysics of sex. We don't gotta be like them. We gotta know who we are. Dealing with the African spirituality, the nature of life. Understand that. Dealing with the nature of life of who we are, not what they want us to be, or you copying off of them and staying on your lower form. Understand this. I see you in part 3. Sex. It's a beautiful thing.